Hi guys, it's Shar. Welcome back to my channel, Craftin' Up a Storm. It's 5 under 5 and this month's theme is ornaments, which is my favorite. I love an eclectic memory tree full of handmade or individual ornaments. And so I have 5 wonderful and well under $5 projects for you. And I will tell you about the 5 under 5 collaboration later in the video. For now, let's get crafting. For my first project, I have these leftover witchy hat wood cutouts from Dollar Tree, and we're going to turn them into a Santa hat. I'm going to use some red chalk paint, crimson, I believe, and some baking soda. This is optional. You don't have to. I just wanted to put a lot of good texture on it. I'm going to cut off the edges, and now it's definitely the shape of a Santa hat. The baking soda mixed into the paint makes it nice and thick and almost like a thin paste. And I just dab it on. I try and get the edges everywhere. And I do this on both sides of my ornament just to add some wonderful texture to make this look a little more like cloth. For the trim, I'm using some 3D puffy paint. I have a large bottle of it in white. So I don't have to paint it because I want it to be white, but I dab this on to also give this paint dimension. Once it's completely dry, I went around the edge with a acrylic white paint pen and I added some lines and squiggles. This again is optional. You can also write names in the middle of it. Use these for tags. They're really super easy. I popped a little pom-pom on the edge of it. I think I picked these up at Dollar Tree and had a bunch of a package left. And bonus, you can also make this look like a little Grinchy hat. And this one is the scallion chalk paint. Same technique, same process. And they both are really cute. And like I said, will make great tags. Let me know what you think. The 5 under $5 challenge is brought to you every month on the 5th by host Emily at FarmCharmChic. And this month's guest host is Karen with the Loft Home Decor with Karen. And I will tell you right now, Emily and Karen have the most beautiful crafts. You have to check out their channel. If you're coming from their channel, welcome. And if you would like wonderful, wonderful Christmas tree ornament ideas, click on the playlist and there is no end to it. There will be a ton of wonderful, inexpensive ideas. For this project, I started with a Dollar Tree tag. I'm going to trim it down a bit. This is going to be the back of my project, and I liked having the loop at the top for the hanger. I'm going to use one of these vintage Santa cutouts from Hobby Lobby. The package was $2.99, half off. So $1.50 for the whole package. I used one. I'm also going to use this metal ribbon from Dollar Tree. I've had this in my stash for quite some time. I don't know if they have any recent, but I think a nice piece of lace will work as well too. I don't need my tag to be as long as it is, so I did cut it down. The inspiration I have for this ornament is the Santa, the vintage Santa sign sitting on the back of my desk. So I am going to use, rather than the bark ribbon that's on that photo, that picture, I'm going to use some burlap. So I put some glue down on my tag and I put my burlap piece down. I made sure the lines were not too wonky. And now I'm going to use my roller to make sure that that's adhered really well to the back of my tag. I trimmed off the edges. And now I'm going to get a piece of this metal ribbon. I cut it in half right down the middle, but that left 2 straight sides, and I want one side to kind of be open. So I went back in and just took the edge off with my pinking shears, and that made a nice kind of open-ended edge to this metal ribbon. I painted it with some red chalk paint, and that's how it's going to look, very similar to my picture in the back. Now, I should have done the measurement and the edges on this tag first, but I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. So I put the top edge down, and then I went back in and I trimmed them at the angle so that I could kind of make a beveled edge on the corner on it. Now, it's pretty forgiving. It does not have to be perfect. I put the ribbon together, and even if it overlapped a little bit, it was fine. You'll notice that there's kind of a notch missing out of one of my corners right there by the top of my hand. I go back in and I put a little piece behind it. So even, not measuring and going by the seat of my pants, I was okay. It came out fine. All of them ended up coming together. I got my frame put in place, and to pop my Santa up on the top, I used some scrap wood and popped him up so that he stood off the photo. And then I used some floral pieces and decorated around it. And that was it for this cute little vintage ornament. Just some Dollar Tree scrap floral. Let me know what you guys think of this one. Okay, this one was fun. Like the witch's hat, in my stash, I had some of these mushrooms. So I decided to take it apart, and I'm going to use each part for a different ornament. So these have kind of toothpicks in them, keeping them together. There's 2 of them. So I just pulled it apart and then pulled both toothpicks out. And this one, the big glue came out with it as well too, which is fine. I'm going to use for this ornament the stem piece, the white piece. I want to cut it down a bit, so I'm going to cut off the thinner piece that was right up under the mushroom top. And I'm going to use the little bit fatter piece toward the bottom. I do want the bottom of it to sit flat, so I'm going to take a very thin slice off the bottom, and it's very easy to cut. And this is going to be my marshmallow. I'm going to make a s'more ornament, and I don't do anything else to it. I just keep it exactly that color. Now, I do have some thick foam. I bought a roll off of Amazon. I'll try and link it in the description, but it's just foam, but it's a thicker version of it. It's fine. You can use cardboard. You can use whatever you would like. One thing is, I had an old yoga mat that I had gotten at Dollar Tree as well too. That was a thicker foam than the thin little foam pieces. Anything like that. I took my hot knife, but you can also take a straight edge, and I made them look like a cracker, and I poked holes in it. All of that can be painted on the top of it too if you don't have the ability to actually put it into the foam. Now, the painting on this kind of got away from me. I ended up all over the place with the painting. But I started with territorial beige, and then I wanted to add a little bit of like a graham look to it, but I used a terracotta and it was very orange. Did not care for that. Went back over the top of it with a darker brown. I cannot remember what color that was. Didn't like that either. Looked like my graham was burnt. Went back over the darker brown. I didn't mind the darker brown being underneath to give me some dimension, but I ended up back at the territorial beige on the top of the dark brown, and I enjoyed that. So whatever color you have that can make it look like a graham cracker, and wherever you get it to that you're satisfied with, I painted both sides of each of my graham cracker. and the edges and all around. Now, in order to make my face and my chocolate on mine, I chose to use an acrylic pen. You can do this very easily with a small paintbrush as well, with dark brown paint. But basically, I just did kind of a teardrop shape. And at the top, I connected all of the teardrops. So I just went down in a teardrop shape. I decided at the beginning where I wanted my face to be, because I didn't want the drips to come down too low where I was going to put the face. And then at the top edge, I just connected all of them. With my acrylic pen, I do notice I have to go over it a couple of times. I drew on some little wonky eyes and a little half smile to make my little face for my s'more. And then I went in and filled in above the face with more drips. So that way I was sure to get my face in the right place and where I wanted it to be. After I had gone over the drips several times, I went back with a fine tip Sharpie to put some detail around the edges of some of those drips. You have to be careful with the fine tip. It does poke into the styrofoam. A little dot of hot glue, and I glued down the marshmallow. Any hot glue that came out over the top, I did go back and cover with that territorial beige to blend it into the cracker. At one point, I used a dark brown to kind of look like maybe it was spreading the chocolate. You'll see it in this picture. But I didn't care for the way that looked, so I went back over it with a territorial beige. I made a twine hanger and just glued that to the top, and then added my little Christmas floral. Let me know what you think of this cute little guy. For this project, I used the other half of the mushroom. This is the top. So I'm going to use that yellow piece you see here in the picture. I did go ahead and cover it. This is a red one that I had, and I covered it with white chalk paint that also had the baking soda in it. And you can see I'm just kind of pouncing it on. Especially the red one, I had to go over it a couple of times. I just wanted to get good coverage. I'm not going to keep it white, so it doesn't really have to have several coats, but that helped me get the texture that I wanted. I painted it a light pink. I cannot say for sure the paint color, but then I went back over with a darker pink and a sponge to bring out some of that dimension in that baking soda paint. I then grabbed my puffy 3D paint, and I really went to town making a nice decoration on the top. And you can see also, I glued the top now into a muffin or cupcake holder paper. Because I didn't want my topping to be white, after it dried really well, I went back over it with some brown paint. This is actually, the paint color is called melted chocolate, which I wanted it to look like melted chocolate or a hot fudge on the top. And I went back over and covered that 3D paint with that. It was very easy. Now, I had some faux whipped topping that I had made whenever I got out the spackling to make some faux topping. I always do a couple of little extra swirls so that anytime down the road I have a little faux dessert I want to use, I have some. So I had these in my stash. I ordered these little topping decor from Temu, and it's just all sorts of different little Christmas cupcake toppings. I'll try and put a link in the description, but they're just faux cupcake toppings. They're for nails or for decoration. And I just picked out what I wanted and I put it on the top. You could use glitter. You can use whatever you want to decorate it. I thought it was cute to add the little candies in. I I added little jimmies and little peppermint swirls. I did go over all of it with Mod Podge. For this one, I wanted to go ahead and add some floral to it as well too. And so I popped that on, and there's my little sweet treat ornament. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, I have to be honest, this ornament was my favorite. And I picked up this little door from Dollar Tree. It's a magnet. Because I want to paint both sides, I went ahead and took the magnet off. It came off in pieces, but it came off pretty easy. I'm using that baking soda paint, just the white chalk paint with baking soda. And again, I'm just kind of spreading it on this door like a thin paste to cover the entire door. I even scrape it off. And I do use a brush to get into the little windows and all the edges up there. I will use a brush to do that. Once I had it completely covered, I glued a little wooden bead to it and painted the whole thing red so that I had a little elf door. To that, I'm going to add some reindeer moss, and this floral pick, the small floral pick, is one from Walmart. I think it was $1.97, and I used not even half of it, but I used pieces off of this floral pick because it has some small berries, it has some small pine cones, and I use all of those to decorate my little elf door. So I start with the moss and I kind of go higher on one side. Here I'm picking up all the little pieces of moss from, while the glue's still wet. And then I go in and trim away any of the excess that I don't want to have on it. And here I'm gluing those little pine cone decorations down, and some of that really nice pine pieces with the white tips I thought went really well with this particular ornament. And I just trimmed them down. After I had it decorated, I went in with some Inca Gold and I painted my doorknobs. And then I don't think I caught it on video, but I just take a twine circle and loop it through the very top window on the door. And that's what I use for my hanger. And I just made both those doorknobs gold and hung that up. And there's my little elf door. Let me know what you guys think. Here are all my projects, one by one. As of this video, I did not have a tree up yet, so I'm just gonna put them down for you to see. Let me know in the comment section which was your favorite of the projects, and which one you think you might want to try and recreate. I always love to hear your feedback. And let me know if you guys have any fun ornaments planned to make this year as well too. Thank you so much for watching the video today. And if you would please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you as part of my crafty family. Have a great day.